delaying too much because I have another session coming out at 10 o'clock. So yeah, let's start the class. So before I start, I'll start to I'll give a bit of introduction about myself. My name is Kelly. I have been in this industry for 8 years, from young to old. Okay, so a little bit about myself so that you know what to expect. And also, since this is an online session, if you can unmute yourself, you can switch on your video. That would be awesome. But if you can't, that's totally fine as well. We'll keep it as interactive as possible. So a little bit of story about myself. I used to study in Australia, graduated from the University of Melbourne, and I love Australia, Melbourne to be specific. So I'm that kind of person who'll die for Australia. I want to stay in Australia. That's why I decided to take up the PTE exam. So before I take my PTE exam, I started my journey from IELTS. I can score even band 9 in my reading or listening, but never my writing. Then that's how I figure out the beauty of PT, because I think it's the same across everyone. Your friend will be telling you, hey, take PT, PT is easier, all this kind of story. But my first PT wasn't that great. I had the shock of my life when I switched from IELTS to PTE. Then I'll score even lower, but then after some time, I'll just realize that, hey, if you know what the computer wants, you're able to score well, way much better than, easier than you thought. So that's how I figured out the beauty of PTE. And also I did CCL, it's called NATI nowadays. Okay, a quick questions to your, are you guys doing this for study purposes or migration purposes? Ron and Shumugamala. Okay, Ron said.
For migration purposes.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, it's good today, both of you. So it's good, we gather the like-minded people together, because normally during my time, migration is not a safe topic to discuss in your office. Like, you can't be telling your boss that, hey, I'm planning to leave this country, I'm planning to leave your company. It's impossible. So we create a safe platform for you to discuss anything about the PT exam. Okay, that's a little bit about myself. And now maybe can I have Shumugamala? Why Australia? Because you don't need to work 3 times harder. Normally that's a common answer from our students. Like $1 is equivalent to about 3 ringgit.
Because before this we went to Canada, and then we backed during COVID time. And then I think it's impossible to go back to Canada. It's quite expensive. And then so I want to try Australia, for the future, for my future's kid, my kid's future,
Yes, it's very good for future. And also, last week we have one student, she is currently working in Europe. So normally we have been in this industry, right? We've seen people migrating to Europe, Australia, or UK or US to be more specific. Normally, for those who made it to Australia, no complaint. But for those who made it to Europe or to US, they complain a lot. So I think Australia is a very good. Not Canada, they said it will be too far away and it's very cold, extreme weather. But Canada is not bad as well. Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit. Okay, how about you, Ron? For kids purposes as well. This is for the dream of a family. My wife is already working there. Yeah, that would be good because as mentioned, right, really love Australia. So yeah, so normally students will be asking me, since you love Australia so much, why are you still here in Malaysia? It's a sad story, because during that time, right, my dad has stroke. So between my family and my PR, it's very sad. But if you were to ask me to make the choice again, I will still choose my dad over my PR. Of course, family is more important. And also, I guess most of you are going for PT exam. Planning to migrate is because you want to have. So that's the reason. Okay, now I think you all should be able to see my screen. No, before this, because I always want to collect some information from you all so that I can feed you all the right information. So for both Shumu, Gamala, and Ron, have you guys taken the PT exam before? If yes, you type 1. No, you type 2. Let me see. So Ron is totally new to PT. How about Mala? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
You taken the PT exam before?
No.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Ron. I totally understand. Okay, so since you guys are new to PT, then I'll start from the basic. But if it's too slow too, or if you have any questions halfway, just stop me and ask me. We'll keep it as casual as possible. Okay, so let me get a bit quick. Today, what we're going to do, today we'll talk about what PT is. We're talking to give you an idea about the task types and telling about the scoring and recent change, especially in July, there's some changes in PT, and also November 2025, and also exam discount programs. Okay, again, thanks to COVID, nowadays our classes can be conducted online. But if you want to see us in person, you can always come to the office and see us in person. Okay, but I think nowadays online is quite efficient. So our students, it doesn't matter where you're from, and we are the Pearson Associate. So yeah. So again, I graduated from University of Melbourne. If after this, right, you want to consider taking CCL, I highly recommend it. Last time it's called NATI. It will grant you another 5 migration points. The higher, the better. So I think I won't cover this topic because I think you already made up your mind taking PTE. And Ron, why are you taking PTE? Previously you took IELTS, isn't it? The main reason is because it's way much easier to score in PT than IELTS. I've been in this industry for more than 8 years plus my time in Australia. Never seen anyone scoring 4.8s in IELTS. But in PT, many students. Yes, yes. Exactly. So like so they're both quite similar. They're both exam. But just quickly give you an idea so that you know what to expect, because it's not just like people say PT is easy, that's why I take PT. No. For IELTS exam, most of your answers being marked by two human, one computer. Whereas when it comes to PT, 90%, not all, 90% of the answer being marked by the computer. So almost of your answers being marked by the computer. So that make it harder because, for example, for IELTS, you need to make sure that, for example, the speaking examiner likes you, the writing examiner likes you, the computer likes you. You have 3 factors here. Whereas when it comes to PT, 90% being marked by the computer, you just need to know what kind of answers that the computer preferred, give them what they want, and another 10%, which is the human checking. Are you guys aware that PT is now being checked by human as well? Just for the small part, like minimum, maybe just 10% of it. So because of the marking scheme, that's why it's way much easier to score in PT, because it's always easier to please a computer over human. Yeah, normally we joke around, especially women, okay, because we're quite fickle-minded, we are fickle-minded, and yeah, just a joke. Okay, so that's why when it comes to IELTS, because you're dealing with humans and it's very hard to predict what this human wants. Whereas when it comes to PT, there's only one computer system. Okay, so what's PT? I think you know. It's broken into 4 sections: speaking, writing, reading, listening. In total, there are 20 types of questions in total. 20 types, 20. The entire PT exam will be about 2 hours, and it's a computer-based exam. You get a result normally very fast, within 1 to 3 working days. If you pass very fast. If you fail very fast as well, unfortunately. Yeah, and again, I think you all know the PT exam in 2020, actually we started in 2017. It was even way much cheaper. It was around 500 plus. So yeah, as you can see, the PT exam is increasing over the years, 865. So next year most likely gonna increase again. And one tips to share with y'all, PT exam will only becoming more expensive, and it's getting more expensive and harder down the road. It will never go the opposite way. So we have seen a lot of students applying for PR. After they pass the skill assessment, they slowly take their time taking the PT exam. But every year, price is increasing, and every year becoming harder. So for now, it's July. Try to make it before November 2025. Why? Because changes always happen in November. And recent change in July. I'm not sure, are you guys aware about the changes? If you're aware, type 1. If you're not aware, type 2. Thank you, Ron. How about Shumu Gamala? I'll make that later. I'll talk about that later. Okay, so I think now quickly we'll look at your scoring. You know what? Thank you very much. But this July changes is still fine. It's more like a user interface. But later I'll talk about some bugs in the PT on the changes. So do you guys know about your target score? For migration purposes, we're looking at this or this. Yes, the higher the better. Why? Because the higher the better. Now I'm talking about migration points. If you get 465, you get 10 migration points. If you get 479, you get 20 migration points. For migration purposes, the higher the better. Do not stop it at 65. Okay, and this is how your score report looks like.
Hi, Kelly.
Yes, Rod.
Good morning. Sorry, can you go back to the other slide, the previous slide?
Which one? Which one?
This one. So you're telling me to get 20 points, we need 84 now?
Sorry, we need what?
To get 20 points for the migration point system, you're telling me here, instead of 79, it should be 84?
No, for now, there's still, this one is being like, the updated, the DIP, Department Immigration Protection, they're actually following the original. So
Original, so we still, to get 20 points, at least 79.
79 in each of the section. Yes, for
Okay,
now.
okay.
Yeah. So actually, right, as you can see, the Pearson trend, they're trying to make things harder. They actually updated their score concordance report. But the good news is like the DIPP, Department of Immigration Protection, they find it so troublesome to change. So they remain it at 79. Because if they increase to 84, it's very, very tough. But for study purposes, some they're following the updated one.
For skilled migration, it's only 79, correct? At least for now.
For now, yes, for now.
Okay, okay.
So that's why don't delay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ron. Okay, so now I'm gonna this is how your score report will looks like. Normally, you're given your picture here, your details here, your overall skill, and then in each of these. So I think, yeah. So the test date and validity, even here, it's stated 2 years. Sometimes the migration actually accept up to 3 years, depending on your visa, depending on your purposes of taking PTE exam. Okay, so I think now you get an idea. Yeah, I think I guess about how you get invited. It's normally based on 2 criteria. If you submit your EOI, based on the number 1 criteria, those with a higher points, let's say I have 90 migration points and Mala has 100 migration points, they'll invite those with the higher points. And let's say both Mala and me, we both have 100 points. So it will be based on first come, first serve, or some states they prefer those with a proficient in with superior English level, which is 79 in PTE exam. So that's why it's very important. Very important, don't delay, because imagine you submit your EOI now versus 1 month later. You have a lot of competitor. So now I think you'll get an idea about, just this one, just a comparison between PT and IELTS, so that you get to see PT 90, IELTS short a few points. Why? It's because IELTS being marked by one human, being marked by another human here. So whenever it comes to speaking, it's fine because you're able to impress them by seeing them in person or via Zoom meeting. But when it comes to writing, it's another scenario. So very hard to impress the examiner when it comes to IELTS. Okay, I think now pretty straightforward. I'm gonna move on. Yep. So now, just before I move on, can I just check with you all? Have you all gone through the PTE format before or still totally new? If you get an idea, type 1. If you're totally new, type 2. Ron is totally new. Okay, sure. Gamala has some idea about PTE. How about Ron? No idea. Okay, sure, no problem. Then I'll just give, I'll try to get a balance. Okay, sure, I'll try my best. Okay, so I think you can see my screen now, right? Yeah. So I'll just quickly go through so that you get an idea. So you have speaking, writing, reading, and listening. There are 4 sections. Maybe you can have a look at how it looks like. And recent changes, it used to be like a bar, but nowadays you can see the timer better. So you can see when the counting down, and you can see the sound wave instead of a bar. So it just these are the changes in design. It just happened. To be exact, it happened on 11th of June. Okay, so for this task type, you look at the text below in 35 seconds. You hear beep sound. When you hear beep sound, the microphone is being switched on to this one. Okay. Just give me a second. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm gonna connect to the audio. Okay, normally you hear the beep sound. When you hear the beep sound, then you can see the bar is moving, right? You can see the bar is moving. So, but nowadays in the exam, you see it in terms of sound wave instead of the bar. Okay, now on the test day, you're not the only one in the test center. There'll be 5 people or 10 people in the room. At least 5. So can I have Ron and Gamala? Please unmute yourself and let's read these questions together, including me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry, Miss Kelly, you asked me to read?
Yes, together, and Ron as well, and including me. Ready? Go. One to begin.
The general topic for your paper, you need to come up with the basis, your creative, the manual, and focus.
The position you take on your particular. Ron, how about you?
Okay, once you pick a general, do we read together?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay,
Go.
Once you pick the general topic for your paper, come up with a thesis.
A strong thesis is one
Your
of the
thesis is the main and focal point of your paper, and it's the position you take on your particular topic. Formulating a strong thesis is one of the most important things you need to do to ace your paper.
How does it feel? It feels
Okay. Chaos.
Yes, I'm sorry, Ron and Gamala, because I want you to give it a try. And as you can see, normally read aloud is one of the easiest tasks, but students will really mess it up on the test day because of this, because you're not well prepared for it. So you have the shock of like, what should I do? So basically, this is what you need to do. On the test day, everyone sit in the room. You get different set of questions. Different people doing read aloud at the same time. In the real exam, you have the next button. You don't have the previous button. It's a one-way ticket. And basically, right, you were given 40 seconds to prepare. So basically, during the 40 seconds, you make full use of it. And then after that, you read the answer.
Are we going to use headset or just speak on the computer?
Yes, on the test day, I still haven't talked, but good questions. Now I'm going to talk about this. So in the exam, this is exactly the same thing that are being used on the test day. And this is the same marker pen. Gamala, are you based in KL or are you based in different states?
Yeah, I'm at Selangor.
Oh yeah, in Selangor. So normally, right, you can also access to our PT simulation lab. So we have this headset, we have this marker pen, we have the On the test day, you get this one. This to pick, write down notes. Yeah, so we have a PT simulation lab in Bandar Puteri Puchong. So yeah, you can also schedule and drop by next time. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna speed up a little bit because later 10 o'clock I have class coming.
It's Kelly. I want to ask about the title, the instruction. Does the 35 seconds is include reading the instruction, or after that it's excluded from the 35 seconds to read the question?
What do you think?
I'm not sure, no idea.
The 35 seconds is inclusive of everything. For example, let me just click on the next one.
So that means in 35 seconds, I have to read the instruction and do that question, is it?
Yes, that's why you can see good ones. That's why what we are doing now, right? We actually go through the instructions so that you don't waste your time to read the instruction on the test day.
Okay.
Easy peasy. I have a lot of like tiny things because as mentioned during my first attempt, right, I had the shock of my life. Yeah, I scored terribly in my speaking because I don't know what to expect. Okay.
Sorry, just to clarify, you meaning within the time frame, for example, 30 seconds, we need to read the upper text and the lower text, or just the lower text?
You need to read the lower text only, but you need to read the instructions because you
yeah, instruction is, I don't need to read aloud the instructions, just the text below.
You don't need to.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so for example, run like in the exam, it's a one-way ticket. When you click on next, they're coming after one after another. Can you please give me your answer for this?
Tutorials are held for 2 hours every Thursday during semester.
Ready, go.
Tutorials are held every hours during semester, every Thursday.
Nice one. So as you can see, right, when you click on the next button, you don't have time. It starts counting down from 3 seconds.
International students can get help with locating housing near the university.
You will not be given extra time to read the instructions. So when it comes to PTE, format memorization is very, 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 very important. Like super important. No joke.
Okay, but you said earlier that we have other examiners beside us during the exam day. So is it advantageous if I put the microphone of the Bluetooth the headset near my mouth, or just to make sure that the computer will hear my words clearly rather than the noise outside it?
Yes, nice.
Or what is your tip for this one?
So if I were to use this, but I didn't connect to my computer, but I just let you just put slightly away here. I think this is good enough. Don't put right next to your mouth, because if you put right next to your mouth, it'll be very noisy because it's very sensitive. This comes with the noise cancelling. So somewhere between your mouth and your nose, can you see I think this is all good, or you want to put slightly away? So for me, I like to put it like between my mouth and my chin. I think this is good idea because normally your volume wouldn't go up. I think, yeah, it's easier because normally when we speak, right, we go downwards. So I think if I were you, I always want to put it at this position. And then people always ask, does it matter? Of course it matters. Imagine I speak with this, it will not capture anything. This comes with the noise cancelling function.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Malay can also come in office to give it a try. Okay, now I'm gonna go through another one.
Every student in the class passed the exam without trouble.
Mala, please.
Every student in the class passed without.
It's okay. So as you can see, that microphone switch on its own, and after that you click on the next button. It's a one-way ticket. One after another, one after another. And also just to let you know the changes in July, you already have the beep sound on the test day. But according to students, right, sometimes the beep sound is there, sometimes the beep sound is not there. So it's kind of like a confusing. It's quite confusing.
Hi, Kelly. Sorry, another question. So, for example, first question, you have 10 seconds to read it after the beep. Am I the one who's going to click next or no? Or is it automatic going to the next question?
Or you click on the next button on your own.
So it's on my pace.
Yes, but you can only
Okay.
do the recording only once. After that, you hear the beep sound and microphone switch on, then you click on the next button.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to control it on your own. Good questions. Okay, I'm gonna go. And students' favorite will be your describe image, isn't it? Okay, now maybe do an easy one. Mala, what will be the correct answer for this? You were given 25 seconds. After that, it starts counting down. I need to speak for 40 seconds.
It started.
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, actually, I'm using the phone. That's why it's a bit tough.
Okay, sure, no problem. It'll be very small if you connect via phone. Okay,
Yeah.
go.
This timetable shows about semester 1, and the timetable starts from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The first one is the introductory statistics, and 3 p.m. is economics lecture. In the middle is the lunch. However, this timetable giving more information, classes going to help.
Yeah. nice one, nice one. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the rules. I'll talk about the rules first. In 25 seconds, you have 40 seconds. So just now you just stopped halfway here. So you spoke for about 20 seconds. Are you aware about that, Mala?
No.
Now I tell you, like again, normally students ask me how many seconds should I speak for? What would be the correct answer, Ron?
Should we complete the 40 seconds or how?
Ideally, it would be good you give 40 seconds, but sometimes they're not that strict. But at least you don't speak for 20 seconds because you need to describe more. You need to describe like maybe 30 seconds. That's still fair enough. But imagine like
Okay.
40 questions, you only complete 20 out of 40, then that's not very good.
So if more than 40 seconds, it will be cut off already.
Yes, it's more than 40
Ah.
seconds. You chop off.
So okay. Okay.
Ron, are you back in Singapore?
This is 25 seconds. So look at the time below. In 25 seconds, then I have to speak. I have to speak 25 seconds, or
You need to speak for in 25 seconds. You were given 25 seconds to look at it, and then you need to describe it for 40 seconds.
40 seconds until the time bar finishes it.
You have ideally it would be good, but if you're able to speak for 30 seconds, 35 seconds, that's good enough as well.
Because I'm scared. Because my husband took the exam before this.
Mhm.
So whenever I lack the idea how to add on the points, so whenever I stop or I do something like this, and then he said that will less my point. So that's why whatever my point is come front, so I speak fast and then I stop it. Is it okay?
Because just now, right, when you deliver your answer, right, you without you realizing it. So, like,
Okay.
so in the PTE exam, if you were to ask me, can you in our daily conversation we a lot, but when it comes to PTE, don't because it means hesitation. Hesitation means not good.
Okay.
If you say is it totally wrong or it will deduct
It will
points?
deduct your point. It's not like a totally wrong because like you
Every is one deduction, 1 point deduction.
it based on their algorithm, but you would definitely not imagine. My name is Kelly. Today I'm going to talk about media. I want to discuss everything. But I speak like this. How does it sound like, Ron?
Yeah, okay. Sounds not natural. So better just speak naturally and straightforward from what I'm seeing here.
Yes. So Ron, are you based in Singapore now or in Australia?
Now I'm in Australia.
Oh, okay. Awesome. In Australia, later I'll talk about Australia, pricing in Australia as well. Very expensive, double the price of Malaysia. Okay.
Correct. I should have taken my PTE when I was there in KL, but no worries. I'm already here now.
Okay, it's okay. Not a big deal. Okay. So there will be a disclaimer. Make sure you get all kind of pictures. And then if you have pen and paper, please give it a try for retell lecture. You hear lecture, you need to retell in 10 seconds.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any women corporate officers. Catalyst, the not-for-profit New York-based women's research organization, points out that its data shows a change over the last 10 years. In 1995, 8.7% of corporate officers in Fortune 500 companies were women. This percentage rose to 16.4% by 2005. While this is progress, they note that at this rate, it would take 40 years for the number of female corporate officers to match the number of male officers. For the few women who have reached the highest ranks, they'd prefer not to talk about their gender. To them, it's no longer an issue. Their accomplishments represent significant milestones, not just for women in business, but for women all over the world making career choices.
Okay, get ready. So normally after you listen to a recording, you start counting down from 10 seconds. Whether you're ready or not, you hear some beep. The beep indicates that the microphone is being switched on. And then Gamala, do you want to retell what you hear?
Oh, this is how it works. So meaning, sorry, we're not supposed to, were we supposed to listen or are we supposed to describe the picture? Or combine?
You're supposed to listen. So you hear a lecture. After listening to the lecture, in 10 seconds, you have to retell what you hear from the lecture. You can listen to it only once, one time only.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay.
But we are graded here based on speaking or listening?
Both. They'll give you points for both listening and speaking.
I see. Okay.
Good one.
So Kelly, do they give any paper or pen to write our notes there?
Come on, what did I just mention just now? You can come in our office to take this. Can you see my screen? Oh yeah, because you're using your phone. Can you see me?
Yeah. Really, I cannot say.
You cannot see me. Okay, can you see something? Can you see?
I really cannot. I'm sorry, Miss Kelly.
Okay, never mind. So you're given this laminated
I can see it, but you mean it is like a scratch paper?
yes, they will give you this paper, laminated paper, and this marker pen. So if you can,
What is that? What is written on the paper that you're just showing just now?
you're right. It's paper given for you on the test day.
So it's a blank paper, Peter.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's a blank paper. Okay. I thought something is
You're
written on
given
the paper.
a marker pen, and you can take notes on the paper.
Okay.
Nama like you were given yeah, because sorry you can't see me, you know, like because you connect using a phone, but like yeah, so you were given pen and paper on the test day, then you can jot down notes. So Kamala, who's the main applicant? You or your husband?
My husband.
Oh, then you don't need to score 79 then. You probably need 50 only, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, this is my first attempt. I don't know whether I'm going to get it or not.
Okay, I would say for 50 would be good, but unless if you're required to go through the skill assessment, then you might need 65 and above. Good for you.
Because I really totally don't know idea first time because this we thought only he going to do the exam and everything. Suddenly I have to prepare within 1 week.
Okay.
So I don't know. So
Yeah,
I have to prepare quickly. So I don't know what's going to happen.
give it a try then. Did he manage to get 79 already?
So far I got 70 for reading, 84, something like that.
Oh, I thought you said you knew to PTE.
Because I just follow what he practiced before.
So he gotten the 479 already.
Only for reading.
Okay. Try to make it
The other parts I don't know how
You
whether
want
I'm
to get
going to get.
479 to get the 20 migration points. Yeah,
Oh,
settle for less. If normally, if you can do it 65, then you can actually push it to 79. The higher, the better. Because it makes a huge difference. 10 and 20 points, double the chance. Okay, now I'm going to move on. And after that, you hear questions. This one.
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
What will be the correct answer? Ron?
I think a psychologist,
Yes.
because so that you can explain to him that fear of heights is this case is a case basis.
Yes, exactly. You hear questions, please give a simple and short answer. Often just one or few words is enough. Then if you think the correct answer is psychologist, then you say psychologist. That's all.
No need explanation.
No need explanation. Often just one or few words is enough. So PTE, again, it's not what Kelly wants. Give what the computer wants. Save your effort. Easy, right, Ron?
Okay. But the previous slide that you were just showing, like the retell the story, I was a bit shocked because she gave like a 20-second lecture and then you have to retell. At the same time, you have to describe the photo. So I'm a bit confused whether are we tested by speaking or by listening.
Or
But
both. It's the listening skill and yeah, because you listen and you process. So they will assess 2 skills at a time.
But we are on the speaking exam part
It's
yet.
a cross-marking section. So like you're doing speaking, I can still contribute. Because normally, right, when we do retell lecture, we are using our listening skill, isn't it? We listen and we write, isn't it?
But is the exam divided into parts or it's always
Break
in
it
parallel
into
with each other or simultaneous or how?
They always break it into 4 parts. Speaking, writing, reading, listening.
But the question just now, it was speaking and at the same time listening.
Yes, it's always like that. That's the exam nature. And PD, I would say, the other day, one of my students, right, she's from Australia as well. She said her Caucasian friend, like her friend who's white, took the mock test and she's got only 60 something. And imagine she's an white, she's an Aussie. So that's what PD.
Yeah, so meaning even natural language is English, it's also hard.
You then realize that it doesn't test you in terms of English. It's more on testing like whether your flow is nice, whether it sounds good, because it's a bit unfair because most of the answer being marked by the computer. So you need to hit the computer sweet spots. Then you catch it.
Okay.
So
Hit that bit.
how you get the 90-90-90, right? It's like the way you sing out the answer. So every time we tell students, we're not teaching English, you sing out the answer. Because for example, read aloud, everyone read the same thing. Everyone do describe image. Some even use template. Everyone's using more or less the same method, but different delivery matters a lot. Last week, one student, the first exam 40 something in speaking. The second attempt, he got 75. From 40 something to 75, the only difference will be the way he sing the answer. The computer is very sensitive to everything. They don't hear you as human, but they look at the sound wave. Okay, so for IELTS candidate, Ron, last time you have small essay, you have big essay, right? When it comes to PT, it's also the same.
Okay.
So for this one, read the passage, you summarize in 1 sentence, only 1 sentence. Then you have 10 minutes to complete. This will be summarize it. This one just English. You were given 10 minutes, as you can see at the bottom. Look at my cursor at the bottom right hand side. The timer will start on its own. Another thing.
Do they give any beep sound or anything for each section and ready? Give the notification or anything?
No, unfortunately, you just have to keep an eye. It will turn into red color when the times you have like let's say 1 minute left, 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes they've turned into red color.
Oh, okay.
You just need to keep an eye so that you're very important to know how it looks like. Okay, and essay writing, I won't go through it. And the others,
Kelly, is it okay if you share this sample or you have any mock exams?
sorry.
Because if is it okay if we ask for these mock exams or these slides?
Normally we don't give
Sample.
slides here.
Ah,
That's why
okay,
we class this like the first session we normally because we equip students with this so that you won't get shocked. So what we do here is like a first class free and also like a simulation free. And if you want to buy the Pearson mock test, you can also buy it free with us.
I see, I see.
Buy it cheaper with us because we are the Pearson associate. Later I'll talk about that. So this one just our training purposes. Okay, for this one, I won't go through it because for reading it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's do this. For example, for this task type, the text boxes in the left panel have been placed in a random order. You need to make it in the right order. So how would we attempt these questions? Mana, how would you do this?
Actually, I will read all and then I see which one comes first. The point.
Unfortunately, on the test day, please don't do that because it's very time consuming. Just a reminder, PT is a response test. You need to do very fast. Everything happened one after another, one after another, one after another without you preparing. So now, for example, 1973, if I were you, let me see, 1973, 46, 49. Okay, Ron, how should I put them?
Put them chronologically. So
Yes.
start with the earliest one, 1949, then 53, 73.
Okay, so
But how about the ones where there's no year? How do we
we
know?
look for clues. Then we look for clues. But by doing that, right, you actually save half of your time already, isn't it?
Okay, okay.
Efficiency. Now,
So
Okay.
and the first become the last, and then the balance will become the first, is it?
sorry?
So we see the sentence. If the in conclusion or whatever, it will
Mhm.
comes the last, and then the balance one we put the top one.
So we put, so for example, Mala, which one? King Muhammad Shah versus the king. Which statement comes first?
How long is this question? There's no written. How
You will
long will
give
you
it
answer
a
it?
total timing and you have to do everything. Yeah.
I see, I see. Okay.
So that's why, like just now, Gamma said, you need to go through everything. No, you don't have time to do that. So instead, you can see King Muhammad Shah versus the king because the full name always come at the top. Okay, and now a quick one. The questions to Gamala. What is the meaning of assassinated?
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry? Being killed. That means already dead. So if he's already dead, where should I put this statement at, Ron?
Already did, then and at the end.
Yes, thank you very much. At the end. That's how I make these questions then. Okay. This will be at the end then. That's how it works. Easy peasy. So it's safe time. That's why when it comes to PTE, right? The format memorization is very important. And also the flow is also very important. You need to know, like normally without training, everyone will be like, come on, but just like go through everything. But no, sometimes the PT, I'm not sure, Ron, are you in Malaysia before, right? Have you heard about Malaysian rule? So normally I always tell students, if you want to pass the PT exam, you always want to practice a Malaysian rule. What is a Malaysian rule?
Boleh lah.
Boleh lah. Okay, nice one, nice one. Okay, Malaysian rules means everything agak-agak. So do you know that we are not very specific? How much sugar, how much salt? Agak-agak lah. We always agak-agak. So again, we always like highlight to students, if you want to pass PT exam, right, you always want to practice the Malaysian rule. Don't treat it too seriously. If you treat it too seriously, you're gonna fail the exam terribly. Yeah, normally that's the situation. And now I'm gonna show
But we
you
want
how-
to pass with high score.
Yeah,
Pass is okay. We want to pass with high
even
score.
for our students who score like a 1990, right? They're also agak-agak. But if you treat it too seriously, you're gonna fail the exam terribly. Okay, for example, I'm gonna show you. Okay, now I'll talk about the exam fees first. So exam fees in Malaysia, as you can see in Malaysia, is 865 ringgit. 865 ringgit. When you book it via Master PTE, you can go to our website, you click on the exam discount. It's only 778 ringgit. So you can save 86 ringgit 50 cents on our website. So for Australia one, sometimes we do have the promotion, sometimes we don't. So how much is Australia? I'll just show you.
I think $400 already.
Australia will be 475, this AUD. So it's equivalent to 1,300, around that, 1,300 in Malaysia. But just now, 1,300. Just now Malaysia, we after discount only 708.5. So it's almost double price, isn't it? Yeah, now Ron, when you want
Yes,
to.
can I take the exam there in Malaysia?
No, you should take the PTE exam in Malaysia because like, you do it 2 times, you can do it like 1 time in Australia. And I would say now let's have a look. I'll teach you, like let's say next time you want to book for a PTE exam, how to book it. You can go to our website, exam discount. You can just click here or click this button. It will link you to the payment gateway, so you can pay via your bank account, FPX or credit card or Alipay, whichever that you prefer. Then after you've done this, it will prompt you to the form. We used to do the form on the website, but now we use this. It will be way much easier.
And I get also the discount even though I'm here in Australia.
Yes, you can, but like depending on, so for Australia, then you need to check. Australia, it will be 778.
Yeah, but at least I get the discount from your side.
But it's subject to availability. So what you can do is you can also check with our customer service. Then they will tell you. So I'll talk about the test center. And normally you can check the test dates online. So if you're not sure, you can also check with our customer service. They'll help you out. And also you can always book it early in advance because later on, right, you can let's say I'm not sure when I want to book for the exam. I register end of October. Then when I have decided on the test date, I can carry forward. I can just like reschedule it. I can reschedule it for free, or I can also I can also change the test center for free. So yeah, this is what. But you should not do this for more than 6 times. More than 6 times, I think it's totally fine. You wouldn't exceed 6 times. Okay, so yeah. So normally this is what we get, like a PT preparation class and a simulation lab. So I'll show you what the simulation labs looks like, then get an idea. This is our website. You can check it out later on. So yeah, this is the room. Now I'm in this room. Okay, this is how on the test day, right? You will sit in a cubicle. You cannot see the others, but you can definitely hear the others. So we have the exact same headset, same marker on the test day.
Do you have test lab here in Australia?
Unfortunately, we're based in Malaysia.
I mean, you don't have like a simulation lab here, also another branch. No.
No, but when you come back to Malaysia, Ron, we're definitely like happy to see you in Malaysia. Okay, so basically this is you go to the exam discount and you can just click on this, can book it. Or you can also like you want to do it manually, you can also do it manually via WhatsApp, everything. Whichever that you prefer. Okay, so now I've already talked about that. Not only that, now talk about mock test. How to buy a mock test? If you buy a mock test, normally students go Ape Uni. The other day, I had one student saying, hey, I do Ape Uni, but I don't know, it compares to the real exam, the scoring is different. Of course, because the scoring systems, they are different. So there are a lot of mock tests in the market. We highlight that only refer to Pearson because they are the original. Then, for example, you score 50 in the Pearson mock test, you score like 50 in the real exam. Remember, just now I mentioned one of our students, like at first the speaking was 40. Then you run a mock test gets 77. The real exam, he's got 75. So 77 to 75, it just differ by 2 points. So, but it must be a Pearson mock test. It's very, very accurate. I'll say the accuracy is 99%. Normally, unless you memorize the answer in the real exam. Okay, and how much is the score practice test? Normally the students ask me. This is a Pearson website. So you have this one, or this one, whichever that you prefer. So yeah, our service, we have the official Pearson registration center. So if you buy it via us, you get 28% discount from us. So you do the math, 89.90 times 28%. So you save USD 25. Then you will save 105 ringgit for this package. So actually you save quite a lot in the mock test or Pearson materials. So what you need to do is you just need to contact customer service and tell them, hey, I need to buy a Pearson mock test. Then we'll help you to get the best deal. Yeah, this is the headset that they use in the real exam and the PD simulation lab. Okay, and I think okay, just now you mentioned that how the scoring, right? Don't feel demotivated if you scored low because the tips matters. I think this is definitely, started with 57, very low in the speaking, and she passed 79 in one go. So after discount, one set is about 60 ringgit. 60 ringgit plus 60 ringgit plus one exam. So she saved her time and effort. So normally we always expecting like our students, the first mock test is always terrible, 57. After that, jump to 74, 75, and then she improved and then ended up she scored 80 in the PT exam. So this is, everything is more than 79. That's why you get 20 migration points. So it's not just about her. We have also a lot of students scoring 90, 80 in the PT exam. It's not that the English is super good, but somehow you need to feed the computer what it wants. Getting 590 is also even possible. study smart instead of study hard. And if you can do it, you can definitely do it as well. This one is in, yeah, April. It's quite recent. Yeah, so I think normally I would say if you want to go for the real exam, you can give it a try. But let's say if you fail it twice, then you know something goes wrong. Then you want to seek for help. But like give it a try the first one. The first one is good, happy. But first one is not good, the second one is not good, then don't chase after your losses because sometimes it might roll up to 20 times. You never know. Okay, so just now I already talked about the exam booking. Yeah, so take a training or whichever that you prefer. We do provide training, and one of our training comes with a score guarantee program. So what our program works? Lecture classes is something like this. Then we have Q&A sessions, we clear off your questions. Even lecture classes can be Q&A, but sometimes lecture classes we have things to cover, then we cannot cover everything. Then we have Q&A session just to answer your questions. Then you have one-to-one, you have everything. Yeah. So whichever that you prefer. Yeah. And as you can see, the tips matters a lot. 64 jump to 90, everything 90. It's called 490s. It's called 479 in the PTE exam. Okay, then I'll say study smart instead of study hard. Give the computer what it wants instead of what Kelly wants. And yeah, our score guarantee program will be. Yeah, we're proud to be featured on the Pearson website. This is the Pearson website. You can check us out. Because normally students ask, oh, I guess I associate with Pearson. Yeah, you can find us on their website as well.
Sorry, Kelly, last question.
Mhm.
Which part of the exam is scored by human?
Speaking.
So the do you have like a sample question? So we will talk to a human being on online or how?
The first round being marked by the computer first. The computer wants to see whether you fit the right sound wave. The first round.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second round, the human will be there to check if you're using templates.
Okay, with the same answer that I gave.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So normally, try not to.
So it will be not like an interview. It will be the same
Mhm.
questions and the same answer that I gave, graded first by the computer and then proceeded by a human for
Yes,
speaking.
the human will be there to check if you're using template.
Template? How are we going to use template on an exam?
So you are not, because if they detect you memorize the answer beforehand, right? You get 0 points.
So,
Hey,
okay.
Miss
Okay.
Kelly, I don't understand because the words are same, like firstly, secondly, thirdly, and then finally, all the word is a common word, right? So how come we can say that that is a template?
So it depending on your luck and depending how you deliver your answer. So that's why it's not up to us. It's like if the examiner thinks you memorize the answer, then you'll be gone. So that's why, yeah.
Because totally, because you know, whenever we start to write the composition, even in a school time, also we're using all that words, right? Then I don't know how to change it to write the composition actually.
I know that's why it really depending on your luck and depending how your answer structures are. So normally we always check for our students, but like depending on your answer. So normally we cross-check before we send our students to the real exam. But it's okay. You give it a try first. But if you let's say you start for 2 times, then you should stop your losses instead of like rolling up to 5 times. Because each time will cost you at least 1,000 ringgit. If you go 2 times, it's already 2,000 ringgit wasted. So we have another class catching up at 10 o'clock. I can't stay any longer. But again, for details, if you want to buy the mock test or anything, you can also contact us. Or you can just like booking exam, just click on this book now and you just go through this payment link, like a secure payment link, everything like
Thank you,
register.
Kelly. Thank you.
Okay, then I'm gonna end the session for now and thank you very much for joining. And
Thank you,
I wish you
Michelle.
all the best for your PTE exam. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.